morning and welcome to Rising. We've got another great show for you today. It is day 2 in our new digs and the first with Lindsay Granger in the new studio. Hello.
I'm back. I missed you so much.
I missed you as
well. I was
going
crazy. I couldn't even sleep. I was like, where's my friend?
You've been all over the place.
I did. I went to Turkey, better known as Turkey, because Erdogan has asked people to call it that.
Oh.
And you just got back from Italy, right?
I know. We were both abroad. How about that?
Enjoying. And then I was getting I was saying all the New York Times and all the news alerts. I'm like, wow, you missed 1 week of news and you feel like you missed a year.
Yeah, you were gone for the entire U.S.-Iran war.
So there was a lot, but I'm sure I missed a couple of radars about that. So tell me what's on your radar today.
Well, today we are tackling a different subject. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino is stepping down after 2 years at the helm of Elon Musk's social media site, which he purchased in October 2022. Now, Musk hired Yaccarino in June of 2023 to run Twitter and rebranded it as X the following month. Yaccarino wrote on X, "When Elon Musk and I first spoke of his vision for X, I knew it would be the opportunity of a lifetime to carry out the extraordinary mission of this company. I'm immensely grateful to him for entrusting me with the responsibility of protecting free speech, turning the company around, and transforming X into the Everything app." Elon responded, thanking her for her contributions. Now, Yaccarino also received affirmation from many conservative, libertarian, and independent commentators, including Megyn Kelly, Michael Shellenberger, and Charlie Kirk, who credit her with guiding X through a tumultuous time, attracting advertisers back to the site while living up to Musk's free speech commitments. Not all reactions were positive, however. Musk's archenemy, Steve Bannon, weighed in on his own show, vowing to pursue her legally wherever she goes. Bannon said, "You can run, baby, but you can't hide." Watch this.
Hey, Linda, you can run, baby, but you can't hide. You're not going to hide from the lawsuits, girl. We know why you're stepping down and why you're running. Okay, we understand why you're stepping down and why you're running. That Elmo's out of control. Sorry, baby, that came with the job. You took the job, you took the pay, you took the warrants, you took the stock options, you took all, the hundreds of millions of dollars you're going to make. No. If you can't keep Elmo in the nursery and keep him under control, you're going to pay a price.
The Elmo Bannon refers to there is, of course, Elon Musk. Bannon and Musk are at war because they represent two different contingents of the MAGA base. Bannon's faction is the stridently anti-immigrant, economic populist side, and Musk represents the more libertarian, market-inclined, pro-free speech side. They've been jockeying for influence over President Donald Trump since the beginning of Trump's second term, with each side scoring some victories and losing on other issues. Musk is currently at odds with Trump entirely and plans to launch his own political party, the America Party. Meanwhile, Bannon's faction is demoralized over Trump's recent foreign policy decisions with respect to Iran, and also the Epstein files fizzle. It should be noted that the Elon faction isn't happy about either of those things either. It's actually a third tiny little faction, the neoconservatives, who seem most pleased, unfortunately, with how things are going, but I digress. Now, recently, Musk actually accused Steve Bannon of being in the Epstein files. That's why Bannon's going so hard against him now, threatening lawsuits, calling on Trump to deport him. Bannon said Musk is not an American, he's a South African, and in response, Musk called Bannon a fat, drunken slob who has a lifetime of crime to pay for. You're not entertained? Well, let's set aside Musk versus Bannon for just a moment. When it comes to Yaccarino, I agree with Megyn Kelly, Michael Shellenberger, and company. Everybody in the MAGA movement owes Yaccarino a round of applause, not thinly veiled threats and insults. She accomplished a great deal. It was not easy to win advertisers back to the platform while still changing the site's moderation policies to comport with Musk's vision of unfettered free speech. As former State Department official and tech policy expert Mike Benz wrote on X, Linda stood up and fought for free speech during arguably its most acute crisis moment in world history, when we're almost on the brink of losing it. She stepped up for all of us in the face of what seemed like insurmountable pressure from governments, advertisers, boycotters, banking institutions, and astroturfed lynch mobs. Thank Linda for her service and excited for her next chapter. I'm with Mike, and I'm sad to see X's CEO become the ExX CEO. For the work of protecting social media, the new town square from censorship continues. And also from just bad business decisions. I don't know if you've seen that Grok has gone a bit haywire in the last 48 hours. And while I appreciate it, I guess, being politically incorrect, I think they tweaked it a little bit too far in that direction, and that needs correction. But I'm grateful for what Yaccarino has done. I think it's not easy to balance all these different factions, to manage Elon Musk personally. As much affection as I do have for him, I think he is, I don't mean this as a dig, I think he can be difficult to work with and for, so I think she did a great job.
I mean, she definitely was trying to maintain and manage corporate responsibility and credibility. She said that she would allow people to have this freedom of speech, but I think that X, which was Twitter when she first got there, became a place of like constant hate and negativity. And there's so much on there where the platform has allowed you to say anything, but advertisers have pulled out of the platform under her reign. And yes, she said she brought some of them back, but not nearly close to the spending levels they were prior to some of their content being laid next to, let's say, Nazi speech or something that was, wildly inappropriate for an advertiser. And because she created this haven of like everyone say and do whatever you want, I think it created a kind of an uncomfortable situation where she's running a platform where a lot of times you'll see an overwhelming amount of negativity or hate speech or something. You want to kind of just have at least a decent filter, especially someone coming from a place like NBC Universal, where she pulled in advertisers for a major network. No matter what you feel about their content, they definitely have a lot of advertisers, right? And she's worked with them. So to bring those relationships over and have Elon Musk be so erratic in the way that he was, and try to balance it. I'm not sure that it did a great job, because do I like X better than I liked Twitter a couple of years ago? Not really. Do you? Maybe. I think you might like it a little bit more. You said it's become more of a welcoming place specifically for conservative.
Yes, certainly. I prefer the moderation now. I don't know that I like it better, though, because people, it used to be easier to interact. You used to do more interaction and have more arguments with people you disagree with. And I feel like a lot of the people I disagree with left the platform to go to Blue Sky. And now, instead of having everyone in the same place arguing, we're now a little bit more siloed, which I don't think is a good thing. I do prefer the moderation now. The claims about it being so hateful, I think certainly I see more hateful content, I think, than I used to, or at least from conservatives. I see less hateful content from liberals or the left, just because there are fewer of them on the platform. Some of the claims that drove advertisers away, however, were false or misleading, made by activist groups trying to pressure advertisers to leave, that were like, oh yes, look at how your advertisements are next to hate. And then when you looked closer at that, that was manufactured and was very unlikely to occur naturally in the wild. So I think some of the reasons the advertisers left were for activist-driven, not actually business decisions. That said, there is, clearly more hate on the site. Look what Grok itself is doing. But that's not Grok is a feature that they have that needs correction, and then it will not. It's not freely choosing of its own. I said this yesterday. It is not alive. It has no views or desires of its own. It has been programmed to do this or this, and it has been tampered with in a way that is not good, that needs to be fixed.
And I think it's a little bit alarming to me to think about what the next iteration of X is, because there's so many people on there, and now we know it's becoming this social experiment for Elon Musk that now XAI is heavily involved in, and that means this is a lot more AI, and like you said, the Grok issue. So what does that mean when the leadership is not an actual person that's going through like a moral, credible corporate social responsibility filter versus an AI machine that, like you said, maybe has been programmed in the wrong way by somebody who...
Well, it's programmed by people who are making moral or business-related decisions, who have some motivations. It is not choosing... That's my point. It does not have its own... It is not self-aware. It's not Cybernet or the Matrix robots or the Battlestar Galactica robots, or we can go down and down through the line of science fiction.
That's the part that scares me, that Elon Musk is the head of who's programming that and telling them what to do, and we've seen his erratic behavior and knowing how people actually get news information from there. It's disturbing, but there's also so many outlets to get news from, like our show. So
that's right.
Next up on Rising, Russia has launched its largest drone attack on Ukraine, and President Trump is not happy about it. Stay with us.